I pushed open the door of the small family restaurant, still holding the medal they gave me on stage. I expected someone to notice, to at least look up, but all I heard was Ethan laughing about some party he planned to go to. Lily was scrolling on her phone, talking about outfits. My father sat at the end of the table, staring at a menu like it was more important than me. Grace kept saying, "Ethan, you're going to be amazing one day. You just need the right push." I stood there awkwardly, waiting for someone to ask how my ceremony went. "Hey," I said softly as I pulled out a chair. Nobody answered. I tried again. "I graduated today. I was named valedictorian." Ethan didn't even pause, he just said, "Cool, whatever," before returning to his story. Grace waved her hand like I was interrupting something important. "Don't brag, it's not a competition," she muttered. My father finally looked up, but only long enough to say, "We already ordered. Sit if you want." His voice sounded tired, like my achievement burdened him. I swallowed hard, trying not to show how much it stung. I wondered why this moment felt like a goodbye. "Did you even hear what I said?" I whispered. My voice cracked a little. Grace didn't bother looking up. "We heard you," she said, "but Ethan has real things to focus on. His future matters right now." I stared at her, confused. "And mine doesn't?" She sighed, annoyed. "You always make everything about you." Lily laughed quietly, and Ethan smirked like my pain was a joke. I felt the medal in my hand, suddenly heavier than before. I said, "I worked for this for years." Ethan shrugged. "Congrats then. Want a cookie?" The table erupted in laughter except me. I leaned back in my seat, listening to their voices overlap. Every word made me smaller. "You could at least pretend to care," I said. My father sighed. "Son, not everything is about praise. Just eat." His lack of effort cut deeper than any insult. Grace whispered something to him, and they both chuckled. I stared at my untouched water. "Do you know what being valedictorian means?" I asked. Lily rolled her eyes. "It means you talked a lot on stage." Ethan added, "Yeah, boring speeches and stuff." I felt heat rise in my chest, not from pride but from shame. "I'm trying," I said. "I'm trying to share something important." Grace shot me a sharp look. "Stop acting proud. It's unattractive." I blinked at her. "Proud? I'm not bragging. I just thought that we'd throw you a parade." Ethan interrupted. Lily snorted. My father rubbed his forehead. "Let's not fight tonight." I looked at him, hoping for support, but he didn't meet my eyes. I swallowed again. "I thought you'd at least be happy." Grace scoffed. "You're overreacting." The words hit me harder than any slap. I whispered, "Maybe I am," even though I knew I wasn't. I pushed my plate away. "I think I'll leave." My father finally looked up. "Why? We just got here." I let out a small laugh. "Because I'm invisible here." Grace rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic." Ethan leaned back. "Dude, you're ruining the vibe." Lily added, "No one said you couldn't celebrate. Just don't make it weird." I stood slowly. This was supposed to be a big day for me. My father opened his mouth, but nothing came out. That silence was the final confirmation that I meant nothing in that room. I walked toward the exit alone. I paused at the doorway, hoping someone would call my name, but the only sound behind me was their laughter mixing with the clatter of plates. I whispered, "Congratulations, I guess," to myself, because no one else would say it. Outside, the evening air felt colder than I expected. I sat on the curb, staring at the medal in my hand. Why did I think they'd care? I asked quietly. No answer came. I breathed in slowly and stood. Maybe this was the moment I stopped waiting for them. Maybe this was the night I learned to stand alone that night. "No, Dad, it's not a small thing," I said into my phone as I walked across campus. "I got another scholarship. Full coverage this time." He sighed loudly. "I'm at work, son. Can we talk later? It'll take 10 seconds. I said later. The call ended before I could answer. I pulled the phone away, staring at the screen like it might apologize. It never did. When I returned to the dorm, Noah looked up from his laptop. "You look like someone stole your lunch." I dropped my bag. "Close enough." My dad hung up on me. "What did you tell him?" "That I won another scholarship." Noah leaned back in his chair. "And he couldn't say, 'Congratulations'? Not even a lazy one?" "Apparently that's too much effort." He shook his head. "Man, that's rough." "It's always like that," I said. "Every time I tell them something good, it's like I'm annoying them." Later that week, I tried again. I called home, trying to keep hope alive. Grace answered. "What now?" "I wanted to tell you I got an internship. It's competitive." She sighed. "Please don't start bragging. Ethan already feels bad enough." My chest tightened. "I'm not bragging. I'm just sharing." "Well, don't." It ruins the mood. Before I could respond, she hung up. I stared at the wall of my dorm, whispering, why do I even bother? When Lily called that night, I thought maybe she cared. I was wrong. Look, she said, I heard you won something. Can you calm down about it? You sound obsessed. I said one sentence. Exactly. I closed my eyes. Okay. Sure. After that, I stopped calling. One afternoon, Noah caught me sitting alone under a tree, staring at the ground. You didn't eat lunch. What's going on? I shrugged. Just thinking. About your family? Yeah. He sat beside me. Want to talk? It won't change anything. No, but it might help. I sighed. They don't care, Noah. Every achievement feels smaller when I tell them. They make me feel like I'm annoying. You're not annoying, he said. You're killing it here. I looked at him. Then why does it feel like I'm shouting into a void? Because you're talking to the wrong people. A month later, everything changed again. I stood on stage holding a trophy from the national startup competition. Cameras flashed. People clapped. I felt proud, really proud. I wanted them to know. Maybe this time would be different. I stepped outside and called my father. Dad, I won, I said, breathless. First place. National level. He didn't sound impressed. That's good. Grace's voice chimed in the background. Ask him why he's bragging. She wants to know. I heard her, I snapped. I'm not bragging. Grace grabbed the phone. Ethan could do the same if he tried. You're not special. Something inside me cracked. I didn't say I was. Then stop acting like it, she said before ending the call. I lowered the phone slowly. Noah found me a minute later. Hey, why aren't you celebrating? Everyone's inside. I called home, I said. He frowned. And? Same as always. He didn't say anything for a moment. Then he put a hand on my shoulder. You don't need them to be proud. I know, I whispered, though I didn't believe it. That night, when I got back to my room, I locked the door, sat on the floor, and held the trophy like it was the only proof I existed. I let the tears fall silently. Not because I lost anything, but because I finally understood something. No matter how much I achieved, they would never see me. From that point on, I relied only on myself. My family didn't break me that night, but they taught me exactly how alone I truly was, and I carried that lesson with me. Every day. Every win. Every quiet moment where their absence used to hurt. Noah, the Wi-Fi died again, I groaned, tapping the old router on the desk. He looked up from the whiteboard. Hit it harder. Everything in this office only works when it feels threatened. I smacked it once. The lights flickered back on. Great. Our entire startup survives on violence. And hope, Noah added. Don't forget hope. I glanced around our tiny rented office, one window, two wobbly desks, one couch that smelled like defeat. You think we can really build something here? No, he said. I think we can build something anywhere. I laughed, and for the first time in a long time, the future didn't feel so heavy. That night, we sat on the floor eating cheap noodles. Noah slurped loudly. So what did your family say about the prototype video? I hesitated. Grace said I should send money for Ethan's future. She didn't mention the video. And your dad? He sent a thumbs up emoji. Noah groaned. Man, that's not even a real response. That's what people send when they want you to stop talking. I know, I said quietly. I guess I still hoped they'd care. He nudged my shoulder. You've got me. And soon, you'll have a team. Build for the people who believe. A week later, after a long night debugging, Noah looked at me and said, we need help. I know, I replied. But we can't afford anyone. We can't afford not to. If we want investors, we need someone who can organize this chaos. That's how Mia entered my life. She walked into the office the next morning holding a clipboard. I saw your job post, she said. It was spelled wrong, confusing, and had no salary listed. I winced. We wrote it at 3 a.m. Perfect, she said. I like desperate founders. Noah raised a brow. So you want the job? Yes, she said. You too have potential. And disaster. I like both. We all laughed, and something about her confidence settled into the room like a missing puzzle piece. On her first day, she pointed to our mess of sticky notes. This is not a system, she said. It's organized chaos, Noah argued. No, she replied. It's just chaos. I watched them bicker and smiled. Mia, what do you think we need first? A real schedule. Clear goals. Investor outreach. And chairs that don't squeak. Noah and I exchanged a look. She's hired, we said in unison. 2 months later, we had our first investor meeting. In the lobby, I paced back and forth. What if they hate the pitch? They won't, Mia said. Your idea is solid. Still, She cut me off. Stop. You built something from nothing. That's already impressive. Her belief warmed something inside me that had been cold for years. Noah added, yeah, man. If this fails, it's because I talk too much, not because your idea sucks. I chuckled. Thanks. That makes me feel so much better. Inside the pitch room, everything clicked. When we finished, the lead investor leaned back. I like it, he said. I see potential. I tried to stay calm. Thank you. Expect a call soon, he said. The moment we stepped outside, Noah shouted, dude, we nailed it. Mia grinned. I told you. I checked my phone out of habit. A text from Grace appeared. Can you send money for Ethan's textbooks? He's struggling because you left the family. No, congrats. No, good luck. I locked the screen and forced a smile. Let's get lunch. 3 days later, the investor called. We're offering $1 million, he said. My breath stopped. You're serious? Completely. Welcome to the next level. When I hung up, I whispered, we did it. Noah yelled so loudly the neighbors complained. Mia hugged me once, firmly. You earned this, she said. I checked my phone again. No message from home. Good, I thought. This success is mine. Only mine. I was half asleep on the office couch when Noah shook my shoulder. Dude, wake up. You need to see this. I groaned. If the coffee machine exploded again, I'm quitting my own company. No, he said, dragging me up. You're on TV. That woke me fast. I stared at the screen. A reporter stood in front of our building. Novalink Innovations, she said, founded by young tech entrepreneur. My name filled the room. I blinked. Is this real? As real as my student loans, Noah said. Congrats, you're officially famous. Before I could take it in, my phone buzzed. Then buzzed again. And again. A flood of notifications hit me like a wave. What's happening? Noah asked. I didn't answer. I just stared as the first name popped up. Dad. I hesitated before answering. Hello? His voice came out bright, almost excited. Son. I saw you on TV. Look at you. I froze. You watched it? Of course. I'm proud. Very proud. Proud. The word sounded strange coming from him. Grace's voice suddenly whispered in the background, tell him we always knew he'd make it. Dad repeated it louder. We always knew you were special. I almost laughed. Really? That's not how I remember it. There was a short silence before he cleared his throat. Well, you know, things were different then. Right, I muttered. Then another call came in. Dad said, we'll talk later, okay, and hung up before I could respond. I checked the screen. Ethan. I sighed and answered. Yeah? Bro, he said, like we'd been best friends in another life. Dude, you're blowing up. Crazy stuff. So, listen, you got space at your company? For what? For me, obviously. I can help with tech stuff. You failed basic coding, I reminded him. I can learn, he said quickly. Come on, man. We're family. Before I replied, another beep came in. Lily. I switched calls. She immediately squealed, oh my God. I knew you'd get famous one day. You literally never said that. Well, I thought it, she snapped. Anyway, I'm studying marketing now. You should hire me. No. What? Why not? You're not qualified. She scoffed. Qualifications are overrated. You think half the people on TV are qualified? I'm not hiring you, Lily. She hung up without saying bye. I let out a long breath and set the phone down. Noah raised an eyebrow. Let me guess. They all love you now. Apparently, I said. It only took national coverage. So what are you going to do? I rubbed my forehead. They want jobs. All of them. Noah leaned against the desk. And I told them we could talk. He stiffened. Talk? As in talk here? At the office? Yes. No, he said immediately. Bad idea. Terrible idea. Worst idea since you tried to microwave ramen without water. I need closure, I said. I want them to see what I built. They don't deserve a tour, he argued. They deserve a locked door and maybe a restraining order. I laughed, but it came out tired. I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing it for me. He sighed. Fine. But I'm staying in the room. No, I said gently. This one's mine. 2 days later, I stood in the lobby waiting for them. Mia glanced up from her tablet. You okay? Just mentally preparing, I said. You don't owe them anything, she reminded me. I know, I replied. But I owe myself honesty. Before she could say more, the elevator dinged. They stepped out together, Dad, Grace, Ethan, and Lily, all dressed like they were attending a business gala instead of begging for jobs. Grace gasped loudly. "Oh my! Look at this place. You're doing so well." Dad nodded eagerly. "Impressive. Really impressive." Ethan whispered, "Damn, this is nicer than I expected." Lily grinned. "I can totally work here. I already feel like part of the team." I felt nothing, no anger, no joy, just distance. They looked around with wide eyes, but to me, they were strangers walking into a world they never helped build. Grace stepped toward me with a smile so sweet it felt poisonous. "We're so proud of you," she said. I met her gaze and forced a polite smile. "Welcome to Novalink," I said quietly. "Let's talk about the opportunities you think you deserve." Their smiles widened with greed, but inside me, something stayed calm. Because I finally held all the power they once denied me. When we stepped into the conference room, my family acted like they already owned it. Grace walked in first, smiling too wide. "This is beautiful," she said. "You're so lucky to have us here. Family helps family, right?" I sat at the head of the table. "Sit wherever you want." Ethan dropped into a chair and leaned back. "So let's talk positions. I'm thinking something big. Leadership. Maybe head of operations." I raised a brow. "Head of operations?" "Yeah," he said. "I deserve a chance. I'm good with people." "You yelled at a barista last week," I reminded him. He shrugged. "People make mistakes." Lily chimed in. "I want something too. Maybe social media director. I can totally do that." "You don't have any experience," I said. She waved her hand. "Please. I post selfies every day." "Same thing." Grace placed her hands on the table. "Let's not get stuck on small details. What matters is that we're here for you. And now it's your turn to be there for us." I kept my face still. "Is that what this is? Support?" "Yes," she said. "And don't pretend you don't need us. Every successful man has strong family behind him." Ethan nodded. "Exactly. We're offering you stability." I let the words hang. "Stability?" "Of course," Grace replied. "We'll make you look even better. People love family-driven companies." I leaned forward. "So you're saying you want to use my success for your image?" They froze for a second, then Grace forced a laugh. "Oh, don't twist things. We love you." Lily added, "Yeah, like, a lot." I studied each of them. Their eager smiles. Their hungry eyes. The silence stretched. Finally Ethan slapped the table. "So what are we getting? Let's sign something." I took a slow breath. "You're not getting anything." Their smiles dropped instantly. "What?" Ethan barked. "There are no seats for any of you," I said calmly. Grace blinked. "Stop joking." "I'm not joking." Ethan shoved his chair back. "You owe us." "I owe you nothing," I said. "Every position in this company is filled by people who supported me when you didn't." Grace stood, pointing at me. "Ungrateful. That's what you are." I stayed seated. "Ungrateful for what? You ignored me every step of the way." "That's not true," she snapped. Lily crossed her arms. "You're acting like a child. We came here to help." "No," I replied. "You came here to take." Ethan stepped closer to me. "If you don't give us something, I swear I'll tell everyone you're a fraud. I'll ruin your name." I met his glare. "You can't ruin something you never built." Grace scoffed. "This attitude won't get you far." I stood slowly. It got me here. For a moment, none of them spoke. I could see the anger rising in their eyes, thick and bitter. They didn't understand. They never would. I walked to the door. "This meeting is over." Lily shouted behind me, "You'll regret this." Ethan added, "Don't come crawling back when things fall apart." Grace hissed, "You're no son of mine." I paused at the doorway but didn't turn around. "You made that choice years ago." Then I walked out, leaving their rage echoing behind me. Mia found me in the hallway a minute later. "Are you okay?" I sat on a nearby bench, hands trembling slightly. I thought it would feel good. "And it doesn't?" "It feels heavy," I admitted. "Even telling them no doesn't fix the past." She sat beside me. "You didn't reject them out of spite. You protected yourself." "I know," I said, staring at the floor. "But it still hurts." She nodded softly. "Healing usually does." I leaned back and closed my eyes. I finally had my own table. But the empty seats still hurt more than I expected. Noah stormed into my office holding his phone. "Dude, you need to see this." I spun my chair. "What now?" He shoved the screen toward me. "Ethan. Your brother. He got kicked out of his program." My stomach tightened. "For what?" "Cheating," Noah said. "Big cheating. Group project, fake data, the whole thing." I exhaled slowly. He always thought shortcuts were talent. Noah frowned. "You okay?" "I don't know," I admitted. Part of me wants to feel bad. And the other part? The other part remembers the way he laughed at me when I needed him. Before Noah could respond, Mia knocked and stepped in. Sorry to interrupt, but Lily's trending. I looked up. Trending? She placed her tablet on my desk. Someone exposed her for stealing designs. Full thread. Receipts included. I stared at the screen as comment after comment dragged her name. She said she wanted to be our social media director, I murmured. Noah shook his head. Good thing you said no. She'd burn the company down in a week. I rubbed my eyes. This is a lot. Mia asked softly, do you want a minute? Before I could answer, my phone rang. The name made my breath catch. Dad. I hesitated, then answered. Hello? His voice cracked. Son? I need help. I froze. What happened? It's your stepmother, he said. Grace took money from family accounts. Started a business. It failed. Completely failed. I leaned back. And you want me to fix it? I'm begging you, he said. We're drowning. I closed my eyes. Did she really steal the money? Yes, he whispered. She said she'd pay it back. She lied. And now you're calling me. Yes, he said quickly. You're successful. You can help. Just this once. My chest tightened. I heard him sniff, maybe cry. The boy inside me wanted to run to him, to save him, to prove I was good enough. But the man I had become knew better. I needed you too, I said quietly. He fell silent. When I graduated, I continued. When I won scholarships. When I started my company. I needed you. That's different, he muttered. No, I said. It's the same. He breathed sharply. So you won't help? I choose myself now, I said. The same way you chose them. He inhaled like he wanted to argue, then snapped, ungrateful, before hanging up. I stared at the dead screen. Noah sat across from me. That sounded rough. It was, I whispered. You did the right thing. I don't feel like I did. You're not responsible for their mess, he said. They dug the hole. I nodded weakly. I know. A gentle knock followed. Mia stepped in holding 2 cups. I didn't know what you needed, so I brought both options, coffee and tea. A small smile tugged at my lips. Thank you. She set them down. You deserve peace, you know. Do I? I asked. Yes, she said simply. You do. Noah added, let karma do what karma does. I sighed. It's just strange watching them fall apart. Strange, Noah agreed, but not your fault. After they left, I stayed alone in my office. I opened my drawer and pulled out old family photos, me as a kid, smiling between people who never really saw me. I traced the edges of one picture and whispered, who were you all pretending to be? The truth settled inside me like a weight. The people I loved existed only in my memory. The real ones were strangers. I was finishing paperwork when I heard someone knocking hard on my office door. I frowned. Noah? Mia? I called out. But when I opened the door, my breath stopped. Dad? He stood there looking smaller than I remembered, his shoulders slumped, his eyes red, his clothes wrinkled like he'd slept in his car. He whispered, can I come in? I hesitated, then stepped aside. Yeah, come in. He walked slowly, glancing around my office. You've done well, he said softly. Thanks, I replied, staying near the doorway. Why are you here? He sank into a chair. I didn't know where else to go. I crossed my arms. You already asked me for help. You called me ungrateful when I said no. So why show up now? He rubbed his hands together. I came to explain. Explain what? I asked. Why you ignored me my whole life. Why you chose Grace over your own son. He winced. I didn't choose her. You did, I said firmly. Every time she cut me down, you let it happen. He looked away. I was scared. I froze. Scared? He nodded slowly. Grace, she controlled everything. The money. The decisions. The house. She threatened to leave me if I didn't follow her rules. I blinked. So you hurt me because you were afraid of her? I didn't want to lose my family, he whispered. I felt anger spark in my chest. And I wasn't part of that family? You were, he said quickly. But she what? I snapped. Told you I wasn't worth defending? He lowered his head. I'm sorry. I let out a broken laugh. Sorry? That's it? It's all I have, he said. I know I failed you. I know I hurt you. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I stared at him, feeling emotions collide, anger, sadness, confusion. Why now? Why come clean now? He swallowed hard. Because everything fell apart. And I realized. I pushed away the only person who ever tried to love me. I didn't speak. He leaned forward. I watched your interview today. You were confident. Strong. I didn't recognize you. Because I'm not that boy anymore, I said. The one begging you to notice him. He nodded painfully. I know. Silence filled the room for a long moment. Then he whispered, "Can you forgive me?" My throat tightened. I don't know. He looked up, hopeful. You don't know, or you won't? I don't know, I repeated, voice shaking. You want forgiveness like it's a switch I can flip. But you weren't there for years. Years, Dad. He wiped his eyes. I regret everything. I regret waiting for you, I said. I regret thinking one good moment would fix everything. He whispered, I'm sorry, son. I closed my eyes. I believe that. But believing it doesn't erase anything. He nodded slowly. If you ever need anything. I cut him off. I needed you then. He swallowed the rest of his sentence. After a long pause, he stood. I should go. I didn't stop him. He walked to the door, then turned back one last time. I'm proud of you. Truly. I didn't answer. When the door closed behind him, the room felt heavier and lighter at the same time. I sat down at my desk, pressing my hands to my face. Noah peeked in a minute later. I saw someone leaving. You okay? I don't know, I whispered. He stepped in. Do you want to talk? Not yet. He nodded and left me alone. I stared at the city lights through the window. My father's words echoed in my mind, mixing with all the years I spent feeling invisible. I finally whispered to myself, I'm done seeking revenge. Karma already handled what I couldn't. Now it was time, finally, to move forward. The anniversary celebration filled the entire office with noise and lights. I stood behind the curtain, gripping the edge of the podium. My heart wasn't racing from fear, it was something else. Something close to peace. Noah popped in. Everyone's waiting. You ready? I think so, I said. Does my tie look crooked? He laughed. It always looks crooked, but in a charming way. I took a deep breath. Okay. Let's do this. When I stepped onto the stage, the room erupted in applause. I raised a hand gently. Thank you. Really. Silence settled, warm and expectant. I want to tell you something personal tonight, I began. When I started this company, I wasn't strong. I wasn't confident. I wasn't even sure I deserved success. Someone in the front whispered, You? No way. I smiled. Yes. Me. I came from a place where my achievements were ignored. Every win felt small because no one cared enough to look. I saw Mia in the crowd, nodding softly. But here, I continued, every win matters. Every person matters. You all helped build Novalink, and I owe you more than I can ever say. The room stayed quiet, listening. I added, I also want to thank two people specifically. Noah, who believed in me before I believed in myself. Noah grinned and whispered loudly, I told you I'd be famous one day. Laughter spread. And Mia, I said. You brought order to chaos. You made this company feel real. Mia shook her head, embarrassed. I just made schedules, she called out. You made much more than that, I replied. You made us operate like a family. A real one. For a moment, the ache in my chest softened. I continued, my past wasn't kind. The people who should have supported me didn't. But I realized something, even their absence shaped me. They taught me the kind of man I never want to be. A hush settled across the room. I built this life because I refused to become what they were. And now, standing here, I understand that I didn't lose anything when they walked away. They lost me. The applause that followed wasn't loud, it was steady, respectful, grounding. I ended with, thank you for giving me a place to grow. Thank you for being the people who chose to stay. When I stepped off the stage, Noah slung an arm over my shoulder. I'm proud of you, man. I looked at him. I finally feel the same about myself. Mia approached with a wrapped frame. I got you something, she said. Open it. I peeled back the paper. Inside was a simple quote in clean black lettering. You built yourself. My throat tightened. This is perfect. I thought it matched your story, she said. It does, I whispered, tracing the letters. Thank you. Put it on your desk, she said. A reminder. I will. The celebration went on, but after a while I stepped away, wandering through the office. Soft music played in the distance. The hallway lights dimmed, leaving the space warm and calm. I touched the glass walls, the desks, the plants Mia insisted we needed. We really did this, I murmured. Noah walked up beside me. Feels different now, doesn't it? Yeah, I said. Feels like mine. He nodded. Because it is. As he walked back to the party, I stood alone in the quiet. My family no longer haunted this place. Their voices didn't echo in these walls. Their opinions didn't shape my worth. They lost their seat at my table the moment I realized my table was never built for them. I walked toward my office one last time and placed Mia's frame on my desk. My life, I whispered. My victory. My rules. And for the first time, I felt whole.